What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's story comes from someone who moved into a new apartment and discovered a strange rule that nobody could explain. At first it seems harmless until they decided not to follow it. While I tell the story, I'll be working on my new sugarcane build in the background, as well as killing a few mobs. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the build. Let's get into it. Alright, so we've got another story coming in here from the Reddit. And another anonymous user. The title of this story is, "My new apartment had a rule code nobody could explain." This happened about a year ago when I moved into my first apartment by myself. The building was old but cheap, which was pretty much all I cared about at the time. The landlord seemed nice enough, the area was quiet, and I signed the lease without thinking too much about it. The only strange thing was a handwritten note taped inside the kitchen cupboard. It read, "If you hear knocking after midnight, do not answer the door." At first I laughed. I assumed it was some kind of joke left by the previous tenant. I crumpled it up and threw it away. Big mistake. The first 2 weeks were completely normal. Work, home, sleep, repeat. Nothing unusual happened. Then one Friday night, I stayed up late playing games. Around 12:30 a.m, I heard 3 knocks at my door. 1, 2, 3. Not loud, just enough to get my attention. I paused my game and checked my phone. Not a message, not a single notification. I looked through the peephole and there was nobody. The hallway was completely empty. I figured someone had knocked on the wrong apartment and left. Just 5 minutes later it happened again. The same 3 knocks, like the exact same. I looked through the peephole once again, and still nobody. That's when I remembered the note. Alright, this person's crazy. You got the note. Firstly, it's let's just be honest, it's a quite shitty place that you're staying at if it's really cheap and you don't really care about it. And what are you even doing up at 12? Like, just go to bed. Where's the sleep schedule at? Like, go to bed. And if you hear the knocks and you saw that there was no one there, just bounce. Like, there's got to be a way out, maybe through the back, through a window or something. I'm not sure. Try something at least. Like, don't just sit there and just wait for something to come get you. I felt stupid for even thinking about it. Obviously, someone was messing around, but I decided to ignore it anyway. The knocking stopped. The next morning I found something strange. There was a small black mark on the outside of my door. Like somebody had drawn a tiny circle in permanent marker. I assumed it was vandalism and wiped it off. No big deal. The following Friday the knocking returned. Same time, 12:30 a.m. I swear you can't make this up. 3 slow knocks. This time curiosity got the better of me. I immediately opened the door. The hallway was empty. No footsteps, no elevator sounds, nothing. Just silence. You see, the important part that this person missed out on actually adding into the story is whether they actually grabbed anything. Because what if you just open the door and there's just someone standing there with, like, I don't know, a knife? Or a Glock? Like, I don't really know. Like, what are you gonna do? No footsteps, no elevator sounds, nothing. Just silence. I checked both stairwells. Nobody. When I returned to my apartment, the black circle was back on the door, in the exact same place. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it genuinely felt uneasy. The next day I asked my neighbour about it, an older woman who had lived there for years. The second I mentioned the knocking, she stopped smiling. Then she asked, "You opened the door?" I laughed and I said yes. She looked genuinely worried. "Don't do that again." I asked why. She refused to explain. Just repeated herself. Seriously, don't answer it. That night I barely slept. Partly because I was annoyed nobody would tell me what was going on. The next Friday I decided I was staying awake. If someone was playing games, I wanted proof. Midnight came and went. Nothing happened. 12:15, nothing. 12:30, and there it was again. I immediately ran to the door, but instead of opening it, I looked through the peephole. There was someone standing there. My heart nearly stopped. A man wearing a dark coat, head lowered, completely motionless. I couldn't see his face. I watched for nearly 30 seconds. He never moved, not even slightly. I considered calling out. Before I could, he slowly lifted his head. The hallway light flickered. For a split second I saw his face, or at least what should have been his face. There were no features. No eyes, no mouth, nothing. Just smooth, pale skin. Okay, this is... What are we talking about? This story's got to be fake because you don't have Slenderman on your ass. Like, this shit is not real. Like, Slenderman is not... You're telling me you just saw a face with no features and... Look, the next line is, I stumbled backward immediately, but like, fuck, like, you got to do something else. Like, what are you doing? I stumbled back immediately. Oh, there we go. When I looked again through the peephole, the hallway was empty. The rest of the night, I sat awake convincing myself that I'd imagined it. Maybe a reflection, poor lighting. Anything but what I actually saw. The next morning, there was another note taped to my door. Handwritten. The same handwriting as a note from the cupboard. It said, "You looked." That was it. No signature, nothing else. I went straight to the landlord. I demanded to know who kept leaving the notes. No, fuck the notes. Like, just leave. The notes are not important. You're worried about the notes. Bounce. Someone's been inside your house without you knowing. You should leave now. The man looked confused. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. He claimed he had never placed any notes in my apartment, ever. I showed him the paper. He stared at it for several seconds, then quietly asked if apartment 407 had been available when I moved in. I told him yes, that was my apartment. His face immediately turned pale. Apparently 3 tenants had moved out of 407 in less than a year, all for personal reasons. None stayed longer than 3 months. The landlord wouldn't elaborate. That night I searched local forums about the building. After hours of scrolling, I found a post from 6 years earlier. Someone mentioned a resident who died alone in apartment 407. Neighbours became concerned after hearing constant knocking coming from inside his apartment for days. When maintenance finally entered, they found him dead near the front door. The strange part, according to the report, nobody could explain who had been knocking. I wish the story ended there. It doesn't. The following Friday, I packed a bag and stayed with a friend. I wasn't taking any chances. Around 12:45 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was a notification from my apartment security camera. Motion detected. I opened the live feed. Someone was standing inside my apartment, near the front door, motionless, watching the camera. What are we doing? Just sell the house. Whoever posted this is got to be the most slow, stupid imbecile I've ever met. If this story is real, this is the most stupid individual response to a situation like this I've ever seen. The image quality wasn't great, but I could clearly tell one thing. It wasn't a stranger. It was me. Same height, same clothes, same face, standing perfectly still, looking directly into the lens. The feed disconnected. When I returned the next day, nothing was missing. She returned. I'm not even sure if it's a she. I don't know if it said that she was a she or not. I can't remember. Whoever, like man or woman, the fact that you returned it's just pissing me off. Nothing was damaged. Everything appeared normal, except for one thing. The note sitting on my kitchen table, handwritten, just 3 words. Thanks for answering. I moved out 2 weeks later, thank goodness. I never experienced anything strange again, but every now and then, usually around midnight on Fridays, I still get the urge to check my front door, and honestly, I'm terrified of what might be standing there if I ever do. I can't lie, if I found a note like that in my apartment, I would have been out of there. Extremely brave behaviour from whoever this individual is. I am going to go ahead and say that this story is not real. I just feel like, I don't know, it just didn't seem real enough, to be honest. And I think anyone of you down below in the comments, leave a comment if you just would have left halfway through the video, because there's no way I'm sticking around if I see someone outside just the note in itself. I'm just leaving. That's where you draw the line. But hopefully you did enjoy the story and the progress we made on my Minecraft world. We are getting closer and closer to completing this massive village idea that I have. And if you did enjoy the story and you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe for more stories, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.